Hello everyone, this is Enayat Meer and I'm going to show you a couple of lab steps and what I'm going to perform a deployment of configuration manager site server, and I will keep speaking on the way a little bit and keep performing the steps. Sometimes I will stay quiet. Just let you know that I have NYCDC1. This is my, on the top you see the host name, and the second I have NYC dash CFG1, and this will be a configuration manager, and this is a DC1 is my domain controller, and I can show you the domain name. Supposed to be a contasso.com domain that we are going to use in this lab environment. So let's start, and stop and go I'm gonna do. You're not gonna feel it because I am recording this one, and my recording can be paused, can be resumed, so I will go slow, so you understand that what is the situation in this lab gonna be. So in the domain we have a C drive available, and in my configuration manager we're gonna have more than one hard drives. Physically one is C and one is E, where we keep all lab files, and that's where we're gonna go and grab installation files and service packs or R2 or R3 installation. We just gonna go along a little bit audio, and then may or may not be a little more audio, but I will keep telling you what I am performing, what I am doing, just to help you out and to understand the concept of this SCCM lab. SCCM is a System Center Configuration Manager. First we have to see the prerequisites. So the first step is to install configuration manager prerequisites. So we want to see that if we can install configuration manager. So I showed you before, we have more than one drive, so we have a E drive, which basically drive name is all files. In E drive we have a configuration manager, a service pack 2 folder under our lab files, and we're gonna see this folder here, and this is basically splash.hta, where we're gonna start checking for prerequisites. So we can check, uh, you can read the release note and run the prerequisite checker. So you can run this prerequisite checker, and you don't have to go through all the way, but you can cancel anytime or before you click on OK, you can cancel at the end. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's run this one first. It's gonna take a time. It is a little bit slow. Okay, so here we go. We have this widget which is going to basically run a checkup. So installation prerequisites, check options. So you have to look at the primary site. So primary site is supposed to be is the server which contains the SQL. So this is a CFG1 contains SQL Server Management Studio. So right over here, SQL 2008 and SQL Server is installed here. If you go in it, you will see that NYC-CFG1. If you connect, you're gonna see all databases here. And we won't see here first any database so far for this configuration manager, because we are going to just do some prerequisites. So this server is supposed to be NYC-CFG1, and SDK or software development kit NYC-CFG1, same. What is on the top actually is 1. Okay, number 1. Okay, and then you have a management point, FQDN or fully qualified domain name, which is supposed to be the same server, NYC-CFG1, and then domain name .contasso.com, and record the missing prerequisites. We're gonna see once we run this one, and it will be recordable stuff, so you can record it and you can note it down what is basically missing for prerequisites. So we have to go and install those all features what we need or what are missing features for the prerequisites, And currently I just gonna look at it what is missing here. Schema extension, we have a warning, and Windows software update services, SDK on the site server. We have remote differential compression, bit basically has an error, bits enabled has an error, web dev installed have an error. We're gonna go actually add this all prerequisites one by one. So we double click on and it basically give you the whole detail of that error, whatever. You can right click and copy this and paste in the notepad and look at that error. But I'm not going to basically do anything because I cannot do anything right now at this point. So I have to go and add first my Windows 2008 server features. So let's start from the features first. I'm gonna close this one and I will go into my server manager, which is right under your admin tool. You can get from there. You have right over here, or simply you can click on this one right over here, this icon on the left side. You double click or click on it and this will open up, and we are going to add features first. So you have roles there, you have features right over here, and it's gonna show up right here. It's gonna be available in a second. It takes a while, and you're gonna click on the add features. So there are most likely missing features, but by default are not available. So we see here we have a .NET Framework 3.51 available, but we need a background intelligent transfer service. So and then this service has own features too. So we're gonna first thing we're gonna have to add this service and its required features. Then you need to add a remote differential compression as well. So that's the first thing we're gonna go to add bits, and then you're gonna all the way down here you have a remote differential compression. If you look at that one, so you're gonna select this feature, second one, and then you're gonna click on next. And also we need actually a web server IIS. Okay, so you're gonna add that one. This is an IIS. By default you have all default option installed, but we might want to customize it. Okay, so we have this web server installed. So let me look at what options are selected here. So I'm not going to change anything, but web dev publishing supposed to be also checked. So that I'm going to check, and I'm gonna go for Windows authentication under my security section. Windows authentication, where is my security? Here. Okay, here we're gonna look for Windows authentication, that we're supposed to check under my security. And let me see anything else left over. Now we're gonna look for under management tool. We also see that or verify that IIS6 management compatibility node. We have an II6 metabase compatibility and WMI compatibility. So so let me go down. Okay, here we have management tools, IIS6 management compatibility. Okay, metabase compatibility is there, and most of them WMI compatibility. Where is WMI compatibility? This is WMI compatibility. So these are the couple of features what we need to make sure that are installed. Okay, so we're gonna click on next and install. So this is gonna take a few seconds to install it. Okay, so this is done. So we installed basically web role, IIS, HTTP common features. We have this one common HTTP feature, static content, directory browsing, and we actually have this Windows authentication, and then we selected IIS Management Console and IIS 6 management compatibility, and I have a database compatibility, and a Windows Management Instrumentation WMI compatibility. We installed BITS Background Intelligent Transfer Service, and we installed basically application server, and these actually are the features of compact server IIS server extension. And this RSAT, we have it, remote differential compression, we had it, and now we can actually configure the web dev. So we are finished from this part, and the second part is we have to configure actually web dev. So let's do that one. So we can go straight right from this window here. Under role, we installed actually web server role, which is an IIS role. So we can simply go right from here, and we have this IIS manager, Internet Information Services, and here we have our site. Okay, and this is our site and default website. Here we have a default website, and just gonna expand this. We don't have to expand this all, but just all I need to know here, my default website, and I supposed to expand this one. So now we have to look for web dev authoring rule all the way down right over here, and you simply gonna look at this. This is our web dev authoring rule. So I double click on this one, and this open up, and we can enable right from the right side. Okay, and we click on the enable web dev. This will enable it, and this is the action item where you can look at the other settings here, or web dev settings. So action is right there, web dev setting is right over here. Here you can actually modify a couple of settings. I will tell you what I am going to modify and what I basically did. So we are going to configure 4 different things here. First, under property behavior, whatever is here, basically false, we're going to make it true. Whatever is true, we're going to make it false. So allow anonymous property query. So we're going to scroll down. I'm going to make it true, and allow custom properties, we're going to make it false. Okay, and allow property query with infinite depth, this is false, so we're going to make it true. So we made these 3 changes, and now the fourth, we're going to go under web dev behavior. We can allow hidden files to be listed as true. Web dev behavior, allow hidden files to be listed, we're going to make it true. So we made 4 changes, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is a part of the web dev configuration, and now we can go and apply these changes and close the IIS manager. So here is apply under the action. Once we apply, and it's done, and basically this is your IIS console window, and you simply click on somewhere else, and this section is closed. So what we basically did here, after this these small steps, we now should have installed the prerequisite components for a configuration manager, and then we are ready to extend the schema. So that is the second part we're gonna do, but one by one we're gonna go through these all. Okay, one thing before we go and extend schema, I want to let you know that schema extension may not work because this is a virtual environment. So I had been through this kind of virtual environment and the physical environment. Yes, physical environment it works, but the virtual environment you may not have schema extended. But let's see. Here we have, let me show you, we have this folder config mgrsp2, and then we have under this one we have SNS setup. So this contains a bin and i386 folder. This is a bin then this should contain i386 folder right over here. We will access this through a universal naming convention. So I'm going back to NYC DC1. From here I'm going to access NYC CFG1. So here we have this NYC-CFG1. Let's see if we have communication. If it's not, we're going to look for, okay, we do have communication. So this is the folder I was talking about, and MS setup, and then you have a bin, and then you have a I386 folder. So we are looking to extend schema. So we are in this folder now, and we're going to look for a schema extension. So we have a file extaddsch.exe. So that is basically through alphabetically you can get through E. So if you go down here, A, B, C, D, E. So I'm looking for that schema extension D and E. This one, ext extension of AD Active Directory sch.exe. So you need to have elevated permission to run this one. So you have to run as an administrator, and this will take a while, and basically it went through. It was just a snapshot. In the navigation pane, we are going to look for a log file, extaddsch.log file. That's supposed to be in my C drive. This one just created on 9/17 and at 5:26 p.m. So I just created this one, and this is the log file, and it will tell you that your schema, interactive directory, which schema, okay, is now be extended. Okay, so it seems like it is extended, but still I have a doubt on it. So you just can go through it, and it will tell you all of the steps what we just performed in few nanoseconds. So this is the way you can verify that AD schema is extended or not. So it seems to be normal file. I did not see any error here. Otherwise, you will see the error, whatever error is. But basically, I did not see any error. So I'm going to close this one, and we did extend the schema. We did meet the prerequisites, and now we have to look for Active Directory permissions. So you can access Active Directory by Directory Services Access command, dsa.msc. This will launch Active Directory, and we want to make sure that we have advanced feature on. So you're going to go to view and advanced feature, because we need to look for a system container under contaso.com. If I expand now, I would not see system. So if I enable my advanced feature, I would see my system container right there. So I do have a system container available in my Active Directory user and computers, and I will go into my system containers properties, and security is available now. Without advanced features enabled, you would not be able to see the security tab. So we are going to look for under advanced tab under the security, and we are going to look for add, and we will look for object type computers, right? So this is my object type is in a computer, and I will add NYC-CFG1 is a computer dash CFG1. This will become a configuration manager. So I'm going to add this host. So now this host is in there, and this should apply to this object and all descendant objects. So NYCCFG1, this object and all descendant objects basically is already selected. So that's what I supposed to have. This permission have a full control basically. Okay, so this is going to have allow full control. So that is the reason we are going to give them this permissions to this container, and basically we gave them permissions, and now we can click on OK and OK, and now we are good to go, and we can just simply click on OK, and we can leave this Active Directory user and computer window open, and just a quick look what I have done so far. Now we should have schema extended after these few steps, and we have permissions for configuration manager server to publish information in Active Directory domain services like an ADDS. That is the reason I had to add under system this container. So now the second part is that now we just met these all prerequisites, and now we are going to install configuration manager 2007 service pack 2, and then we're gonna install basically this primary site, in other words. So let's go move on to that site and leave this AD open, and it will replicate whatever we just have done. It will actually replicate. I am moving back to my NYC-CFG1, and here we have configuration manager service pack 2. So this is the main folder and splash.hta, and if we want we can go and look at the prerequisites now, if it is readable as fast as we are just looking at it, and you're gonna see that if we could put in the server name and run this widget, and we can see that if prerequisites met or not. So it definitely gonna look much better than it was before. So I clicked on it, as you know that it takes a little while. Then we're gonna start installing actually this configuration manager service pack 2. So we have this SQL server was NYC-CFG1. Why I put R? Okay, same. Gonna copy and paste here. If my SDK, and this is again dot curtoso.com. Okay, and click on OK, and now it's gonna go and look that what we are missing. Maybe schema extension gives you an error or warning or something, because I am a little bit familiar with that. When we have a virtual environment, we have, yes, exactly what I was expecting. Schema extension have an error, and WSUS SDK on the site server, that we don't have actually. But anyway, now we are able to click on OK, because at least we have some better result than we had before. So I am going to now install configuration manager service pack 2. So this is the part we are performing now. So we met all prerequisites except those two signs you just saw, that some warning sign, and don't worry about it. If you do in the physical environment, you may or may not see those warning signs, but I can guarantee that we would be able to install this. On the way we might need a download folder, but in the C drive for the updates. Okay, so we're gonna have to configure this site server, and we're gonna have to accept the agreement. You can actually read the agreement, and we are going to have a custom settings, and we have to create a primary site, and we don't want to participate any kind of, this is my CD key, eval key. By default it goes into Microsoft Configuration Manager. Okay, see program files, Microsoft Configuration Manager, and that is actually a destination folder. So we can let me see what else we have there in the C drive. C program files, and then you have, yes, that's where you can actually have this folder under the program files right here, and x80 program files and program files x86. Okay, so instead of that I would put same under, actually straight under my root drive. Instead I can change this to instead of having program files x86, it is up to you where you want to put this file, and I will say it simply says Microsoft Configuration Manager straight under the root drive. So we're not gonna have this uh, under the default location. So I'm customizing it. So it's a customized location. Now we need to set up a site, and I will give this name. NYC is the name of the site which I want to create, and I'm gonna give the name, the site name as a central site dash NYC. So I typed central site New York City or NYC, and this will be basically NYC is my site code or 3-digit code. And from the setting, site setting, I will leave it. Uh, it is up to you what type of mode you want to have. Okay, you want to have uh, a native mode or a mixed mode. I would prefer to be in a mixed mode first. I will tell you later on. So we have no internet available or no internet client, so I'm gonna choose my mixed mode and next, and I can choose NAP due to having this 2008 R2 or 2008 operating system, but I will leave it like that. So I'm gonna go, this is my next screen. In other words, these are all of my uh, uh, agents, client agents. Okay, so these are the select the client agents to enable with the default settings. These are the default settings. I will show you where these agents basically are once we have configuration manager available. So this is basically, these are the locations, and this is my SQL Server name, and always we have gonna have this underscore NYC or 3-digit code under SMS. By default, basically it comes automatically like that. So we will leave it SMS underscore NYC. By default, it catches the site name, and this is my installation location for the provider. Also, it is my SQL Server name and management point nyc-cfg1.com where I'm gonna install management point, and I will use a web port 80 by default. The latest updates have already been downloaded to an alternate path. In other words, if you don't have internet, you can so use the same thing. Go to the PC where we have internet, download the settings about 80 to 85 megabyte, save it somewhere, and you can browse that where you want to save it. So in my computer we have under the E drive, so it's all files, and E I had this common share folder, the lab files. Under lab files I have a config mgr subspec 2 where we actually having this installation, and that's why I put a download folder. Download folder, this is a location where it automatically goes right there and click on next, and this will basically proceed for the next step. So if you do not have internet in your real life, in your own physical computer or on the virtual computer, so you simply can go, and this is my next screen. So they are just giving you the settings summary. Configuration manager will be installed with the following settings. Primary site installation, this is my primary site installation, and I put a code NYC. This is my central site at New York City NYC, and I'm in a mix mode, and this is my product key, and this is my directory. As you know that I changed it and put it from default location to this location, and that's where we have, you don't have to have this location like that. For simply copy download folder into your root drive, C:\download, that will be enough. And if it's empty, you have internet, it will download right. It takes about only 4 minutes, 3 minutes. And this is my SQL server, which is my current management studio, as you see that one. This is my SQL server here, and database name SMSNYC. Let me quickly go into my database, and that's where you're gonna see all databases available. So this is my database folder where you see my databases 1, 2, 3, 4. So once we are done, you're gonna come back and I will show you another database right there too, and SMS underscore NYC, and this is my SQL server name, and these are the agents remember I checked those all boxes actually by default I left it. So these are the agents or client agents which are going to be installed with this installation. So let's go and see that this is not gonna be a very quick and fast work which is gonna go right away and it's gonna be done. It's gonna take a while. So you're not gonna feel that I am pausing and coming back, but let's let it run first and I will come back when we have done this also. This warning gonna come definitely. Don't worry about that warning. At least we can proceed the way we are proceeding now. And these are basically the same screen came back, and now I clicked on the next, and this thing's actually on the background is working. It will come back as soon as it starts installation, and then I will let it pause for a while, and it takes a little bit time, actually a couple of minutes. When it's done, I'll come back. Now starting, and it's going to take all the way down one by one, and this is a long way to go. So when it's done, I will come back. I see what was succeeded, what was not succeeded. But this will definitely give you a configuration manager console where we can perform more labs, more work, and we can have some physical work on that one. This is now creating a site database. So this database is in progress. As soon this part is done, we would be able to see that we have under SQL Server another database. Then transfer files, register controls, initialize configuration manager site, and install the site component manager, SMS provider component. If you scroll down all the way, this will go all the way down here, and you will see everything is basically performed one by one. So I will show you on the way when it's done. We're gonna do some inspection, and we will see what was installed and what is not installed, what's supposed to be installed, and how this is supposed to be worked. So this database is gonna take a time because it will also create some tables in it, default SMS table. So this all may take between 25 to 35 minutes, depends on how fast your PC is. But you don't have to watch this all of those long minutes. So you simply gonna look at that when it's done. Then I will go and do some inspection with the SQL Server. We will look for the database, and I'm gonna show you certain more things which will make sense. So where we are, what we have done so far, what we're gonna do, and what this will impact for our future steps and future demos or labs. Alright, so this all is done now, and we see here we created a database right over here. So let's take a look. The database under my, now we have System Center available. We have SQL, which was there before without database, and now we're gonna see a database there too. All right. It's a bit slow opening up databases, and this is your database, SMS underscore NYC, and you're gonna see here your tables inside database diagram. These are the tables. By default, these were all created, and these are views and security, storage, whatever is that. This is your new database, and that's what I wanted to show you. And on the other end, we can click on the next, and now we can also view log if you want to view log once we are done. So completing the Microsoft System Center Configuration Manager 2007 SP2 setup visit, and if I click on the start all programs, you will see here my System Center Configuration Manager, and basically also all supporting consoles here. We have a WIK is different, actually this is something different, but now we are ready for that. So now we can verify successful Configuration Manager site server installation. So we just installed a Configuration Manager site server. So this was the installation. So installation is complete, and now we will look for this all post installation. That's what we are going to look for now. So the good way is to check config mgr setup.log file. It's supposed to be on your root drive. Config mgr setup.log file. So this is the file created on 9/17 at 6:34 p.m. It is 6:36 at this time now. So you can simply look at the contents of this file, and you will see very beginning on 9/17. 1704 we started, we finished about 1734, which is exactly 30 minutes. As I said that it takes about 30 to 35 minutes. And first we actually went into this location and we ran prerequisites. Okay, we did some input prerequisite, and for 64 bits verifying the asset asset in intelligence installation and default CSV folder path. So you're gonna go, you went through this part. It verified some as Active Directory schema extension, database creation, collection creation. So you will, it's a long file actually. If you scroll down, whatever was done here, it was giving us a step by step. All actions are performed. Okay, whatever you can see here, you can scroll down, look each section, which in other words the whole file contains your database creation steps. It has as Active Directory schema extension steps, collection creation steps, adding login for the SMS site server, and SQL install, returning with success. Has just returning result with success, and then creation of local user group, and granting the SMS admin rights to the WMI namespace, and service installation. There's a lot actually. There's a lot in this file. If you go all the way from here to all the way down here, you can see at the end how we ended up after its complete successfully completion of this installation. So this was done. This is a review of the log file. You can find many things, including errors and successful completion of your log file. Same way you can look at the setup component setup log file here, and this also gives you a brief detail about all steps which were done actually, what was installed, what was configured or initialized in the database. So this is basically the database, and it completed, transferred the files, created initial tables, and this all managed site and configuration manager service, SMS executive, and management point or policy provider. So this is whatever information we have available here. This basically came up right into this. Now look at the configuration manager. Now itself, you're gonna go to Start All Program and Microsoft System Center and Configuration Manager 2007, and here you have these all consoles here, and this is your console. So look at the console. When it's open, you're gonna look at the console and its snapping. So this is a configuration management console. So we have this R2. So we wanna see that if this is R2, and we have to go to our site database. We're gonna expand that. We're gonna expand site management, and this is our NYC central site. So this is the central site. From the properties, we can verify that what version we are actually having this one. So we go to the properties, and you will see that we are supposed to have R2. So just pulling up. All right. So here you will see NYC, and this is your central site New York, city property, and that clearly tells you right here, and this is your R2 installed, or R2 installed says R2 installed no. So this is basically R2 install says no, and eventually we are going to make this R3. Okay, so this is just verification that what we have installed. So now we should have verified that the configuration manager installation has completed successfully. As you can see the window right in front of me, and now we are going to look for a couple of more things that includes the verification and creation of system management container. For that we have to go into Active Directory, which is not in CFG1. So we have to go into NYC-DC1, and this is our Active Directory, and you just simply right click on it and refresh. If there is any change, it will basically come in effect. Sometimes in virtual environment you don't see changes effect right away, but let's see, we are going to look for system container, which we previously reviewed it, and we actually added a computer in here. So here we have a system container, and you can also hit F5 on the keyboard here just for refresh, or for refreshing this console. And then we have to look for system management. So we're gonna have all the way down here, we will look for system management. So if I look alphabetically, I did not see system management container. So that's mean it is not available yet, and we may have to wait little bit more because it doesn't appear as quick as I was expecting in the virtual environment. So once system management is available, and we will look for sub containers under that, which is SMS-MP NYC NYC CFG1 and SMS site NYC. So these two objects are supposed to be available there. So the next thing is that we directly can install a configuration manager 2007 R3. So for that we have to again look for E directory, E folder under my CFG1. We're gonna go into E drive, and that's where under the E drive, as you know that under lab files we have all informations here. So we have config mgrr3, this one under the lab files, and that's where you're gonna have installation. I would have here MSI file, and this will actually be able to install R3, and then we can verify the version of R3. Once it is installed, we have to refresh, and once it is done, we can verify that we do have an R3 version available. So it will take a while and it will install, and then I'm gonna show you how you can verify that. On the back end, I closed my configuration manager because it was required to close that in order to upgrade to R3. So we are installing currently Service Pack 2, and then after that we're going to install Configuration Manager 2007 R3 as soon as we are done with the Service Pack 2. So in order to have this started, I have to drag it to the right and look on the back end first, where I have to answer these questions. So I want to create a package and program now. Click on next, and I have to look at these hot fixes. Click on next, and this is the location, and we're gonna click on next and click on next, and this will start installing. It's gonna create a package and we'll go through all the way. When it's done, we're gonna actually have to use a splash.hta after service pack 2 to create this R3. Okay, so this part is done. Okay, and now we can use splash.hta to make sure it's an R3. Yes, it is an R3, and we're gonna click on R3, and we have to click on install configuration manager 2007 R3, and it is simple installation. You always have to accept the agreement first, and it is up to you what you want to put, any name or registration information. If you want to customize it, you can customize it, or you can let it go the way it is, and it will give you the current action. Once installation is done, you are able to verify that now we are running R3, not R2 anymore. So once it's done, all I have to do, go into my configuration manager and verify the installation. So I'm gonna go into my configuration manager, and configuration manager console, and it takes few seconds to open up. Once it's ready, I will go and check the properties, that if it is R3, yes or not. Okay, this is my central site. You go into the properties, as we have done this before when we were looking for it was R2 or not, and it says R3 installed, yes. So it is R3 now, as you can see, it is right there installed, yes, and click on OK, and I can close this configuration console. And you have seen that we have created a database. Before this lab, I installed SQL, so SQL was there. Now we have a database, and everything is all set. And now we have this R3 version installed, and we are good to go, and we are ready to go for further further labs or further actions. We have a domain available. The only thing I'm waiting for is for DC1. I have to keep refreshing it, and I have to look for uh, a container which contains sub container. So I don't have my container available yet, alphabetically under my S. Okay, so I will keep waiting, because I know that it takes time for the virtual environment. Otherwise, we're all set, and I am going to close this session of this video. So I hope you understand and you can get benefit of this installation prerequisite and post installation steps of SCCM 2007.